Alrighto, so while I've got it set up, I thought I might take the opportunity while I'm sitting on my bum out here doing very little out at Larapinta to do a little bit of a rig rundown on the camper trailer. Had a couple of weekends away in it now, so yeah, thought I might just let you know different things I think about it and some of the plans that I've got for it. So, you know, first up, the kitchen. The kitchen's been amazing. I had a full gas system refitted when I got it in the initial servicing. The gas stove works really well. It's been really windy this few days, and yeah, all right, it slows it down a little bit, but it's still not too bad. Really nice having a sink, plumbed water, as well as a 12-volt pump, and plenty of storage, cutlery, and then basically pantry, linen press, all that sort of stuff. But that's a full-length boot. And then I've got the other side of the back there for storing other bits and pieces after I tip the back up. Coming around, a couple of the other things that I don't mind about the trailer. It's got a really nice big front boot on it here, covered a little bit by the what's-it cover, so that's really useful, and there's a fair bit of gear in there. I really like the DO35 hitch. I've had absolutely no trouble with that at all, even as a novice when it comes to the towing part of the gig. So that's been really useful for me and really easy to use. I guess the light's not great in here because it's been freezing at night, so I haven't opened all the windows up. But big queen size bed in probably what is a dark void you see back there. Really comfy, great to have, I guess. Then, what don't I like about it? Well, the main thing I don't like about it are all these poles and trying to set the damn thing up. It is, on your own, which is how I normally camp, king size pain in the ass. The canvas itself has been really waterproof, so I haven't had any trouble with water ingress or any of those sorts of things. And as I said, the bed's quite comfortable, but setting that side fold tent up just is something that I've done it a few times now, and it doesn't get it easy. I thought I was doing something wrong. Apparently I wasn't. It's just a fiddly multi-part trying to hang on to, you know, you need 3 arms to actually get the thing to do what you want it to do. So I've had a good think over these few days about what I might do with it. Coming from lifestyle, the actual structure of the camper trailer is really sound. Great gas setup. It's got 80 litres of fresh water. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the skeleton and the underbody of this. So I'm actually thinking of maybe stripping that tent off it and going for a rooftop tent and a 270 batwing awning around it, because that's probably, sorry, the other thing that I didn't say that I didn't like, and I haven't even tried to use it yet because it's a bigger pain in the ass the rest of the tent, is there's an awning that's supposed to come out from this side of the tent itself. Now, as you can see, trying to get up there to attach it, I'll need a step ladder and or something else I can fall off, which I'm not that keen to do. And the other thing is it's all zipped on, and these zips are now 12 years old, and they're just starting to get to the point where they're not so easy to use. The rest of the tent is solid, and in fact I'll actually look at selling it for someone who may want to upgrade an even older trailer with a new tent, because the tent itself, as for you know, how it's been designed, at this stage of the game is in still really good nick. So it just isn't what I want for the type of camping that I do. So stay tuned. I've made a couple of, done a bit of research, and I'm about to make a couple of inquiries to see what I might be able to do with that over the next couple of months. And I might try and squeeze that in before the Defender arrives. Oh, oops, did I say Defender? Oh, I've given that away a bit, but yeah, a few things coming on Jack's Trax over the next 6 months, so stay tuned. It's exciting time, and I'll see if I can get that drone up now and show you the rest of the campsite from the air. Well, something else I get asked a few questions about, particularly through the Land Rover Club and when we're actually off-road, is how do I get my Discovery Sport to go all the same places that the bigger, more serious four-wheel drives and off-road vehicles go. And we have a lot of D4s, D3s, some of the older Defenders, some of the places that we go. You've got, you know, the range of dual cab utes such as the Hiluxes and Rangers, that sort of stuff. When I initially bought this car, I probably didn't intend for it to be a hardcore off-roader. I thought I'd probably get on the sand a couple of times a year with Billy and his D4, and then COVID hit, and that sort of changed a lot in and around how I started spending my time. And I went and did a course when it was basically stock, and found there was probably only a couple of limitations that I had. One of those was ground clearance. So with a couple of minor modifications and not expensive ones, I have been able to get about a 3-inch lift in total out of this car. And the first one of those is a spring lift, and all it included was 4 springs from a company called Ibach, which is a German company. Hopefully you might be able to see them up in the wheel well there. So that's them. And again, that didn't require shock absorbers or any other major suspension adjustment. It was purely those springs. And then I've gone from what the stock tyres are to a 265/65 18 BF Goodrich or BFG KO2, which you probably heard me and Anthony banging on about in some of our other videos. It's done 2 things. One, it gave me another inch of lift, and number 2, it's given me a fairly serious all-terrain tyre, which has given me a lot more off-road ability. It's a bit noisier, I have to admit, but no noisier than the roof rack and awning that I've added as well. The other thing that I did, particularly after getting the vehicle up on a hoist when I was getting the tyres done and noticing a fist-sized dent in one of my fuel tanks, I then also went and got a full kit of underbody protection. So I've got the under engine protection. We don't actually have a diff, but the diff area protection, the fuel protection, and all up. Then I just added the radio, which is more for communication and ease of use doing some of the trips that we do. But the spring lift, the tyres and the underbody protection all up was probably $5,000. So not a lot of money, but certainly has completely changed the ability of this vehicle off-road. No longer am I bellying out all the time on the sand. No longer am I banging the undercarriage on rocks and those sorts of things when I'm off track. And since I did the adjustments, I haven't had this bogged once in sand, and I've done Fraser Island and Moreton Island and Stratty now since those changes are done, and certainly doing some of the club trips where it's a bit more bush and a bit more uphill with you know, rocks and lumps and that sort of stuff, a bit like this farm actually. It certainly has coped a lot better in those circumstances as well. So is it a full serious off-road vehicle? You know, you still probably have to say no. It doesn't have low range. It has a very, very small first gear that only gets used in off-road settings. But it has, you know, probably 80% of the electronics and the terrain response system that the bigger units in this range has. And it's still quite a capable vehicle, as you guys have seen in the stuff that I did. So anyone had any questions about what I've done to the car and how I get it where I get it, that's it.